Gents, if your woman is starting to withhold her emotion and is becoming more expressionless, you should be worried. She may actually be checking out of your relationship.
Hey Deku Fam!
Hey Deku Fam.
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
We're back with another video, and in this video we're talking about why your woman is not opening up to you.
Yes.
It's a
there
big
has
subject.
been moments in our relationship when Anna has chosen to not open up to me because there were certain things that I was doing that was actually making her feel like she couldn't express herself to me. So to all the men out there, we basically just want to tell you the things that you may be doing that might actually be contributing to the fact that your woman is not opening up to you.
Yeah, because men, what if you are the problem?
Yeah.
You. Yes, you. Let's get into the video.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so one reason that your woman doesn't open up to you is because you're more interested in finding a solution than you are in her, in understanding her.
Guilty. Listen, like the struggle it took me to understand this point alone, I understood it theoretically, but in practice I was failing every single time.
Yep.
Every time Anna presented a situation to me, I love her so much that I wanted to help her through the situation by giving her a solution. Because in my mind, the solution is gonna help take her out of what she's feeling, and the solution was synonymous with comfort. Once you get the solution, you'll be comforted. But I failed to understand that Anna wanted me to be very present with her in the moment, to try and understand more rather than go into the solution. Sometimes I don't even ask questions, I just go straight to the solution.
Yep.
And then she wanted me to be empathetic, to be like, oh babe, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And she also wanted me to comfort her,
Yep.
to give her more reassurance that everything will be okay, rather than going to solve whatever that she was dealing with.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than when you've identified a problem, and that problem may be you, it may be something else, but it's triggered an emotion and a feeling. And then the person is rushing you out of that feeling into finding a solution to that problem. A therapist, for example, they ask you more questions. They ask you how did that
But
make you feel.
I don't have that degree.
But you've been in this marriage for 7 years. I've expressed that to you. Yet it took so long for my guy to understand.
When I'm saying so long, we've been married for 7 years. This is like last week I discovered this.
Yeah, we've just arrived. This is hot off the press. But yeah, we process things differently. We want different things. And one of the things that us women need is to be able to unpack our emotions.
Yeah.
We want a friend. We want someone who we can confide in. Someone who we can bring our full self to.
Yeah.
Even if we are the problem, and we will get there, but maybe not in the first 2 minutes. Not in the first 5 minutes.
And I realized over time, and there are some benefits to this. Obviously, now that I'm trying to let Anna unpack her emotions more, I feel like we're more connected. It leads to less arguments in the process, because now Anna's got a situation going on. When I bring a solution, then it becomes like a very much, we're arguing about the potential solutions, and we take the attention off Anna's feelings in the moment, and it just allows us to be more connected, and she feels more understood.
Yep.
And then the biggest thing is the fact that when we get to the end of me trying to understand Anna's emotions and support her, etc., she asks for my opinion more.
Yes.
She wants me to provide a solution. Her heart is ready for a solution.
Yep.
Her ears are open for a solution. And it caught me off guard the first time when she was
Because I
like,
feel understood.
what do you think? I was like, you want to know what I think? I just thought you just want to just do...
No, it's just there's a process. Another reason your woman might not be opening up to you is because you undervalue the importance of intuition.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Sometimes when Anna and I are having a debate about something, I go into it very factual. I try and have a fact-based answer or scenarios for why I want to do X, Y, and Z. And sometimes when I present these cases to Anna might be like, okay, I don't think it's a good idea. And when I try and press, she says, I just don't feel like maybe it might be the right season. I don't really feel like it might be the right thing to do. I don't feel like we should move forward. And it really frustrated me that she wasn't able to give me a fact-based answer or a logical answer as to why we shouldn't progress with something. And I would dismiss her and just be like, oh, stop being overly emotional, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go off and I'll go and do whatever I wanted to do. To then realize that I fell flat on my face because I didn't listen to what Anna was saying. And I didn't take her thought process or her intuition actually seriously in the moment. I just thought it was like, oh, just emotion. You can't explain yourself logically, and therefore it must be not right.
Yeah, and it's so easy to dismiss that perspective because you're getting frustrated in the moment that a facts-based answer is not coming out of my mouth, and you're putting more and more pressure for me to get to that point. And sometimes I haven't even processed it. I can't bring it to words. I just know something's not quite right. But instead of you having the patience to actually be like, okay, right, let's wait. Let's see how you're feeling tomorrow. Let's discuss it again later. You want to press forward with your facts-based solution, which obviously on the surface sounds perfect, but then it doesn't work. So I can imagine.
Sometimes put a sometimes in there. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so, but yeah, I do get it. Like sometimes I am again quite impatient when I want to make certain decisions and I want to move full force with it, and I want to be able to make a decision today. And yeah, I just need to leave room for intuition because logic doesn't really solve every problem, and sometimes. Like I lack sometimes intuition and knowing, having a gut feel to move forward. I'm always trying to research that.
And oftentimes our decisions are based on facts.
Yeah,
it's based on facts, but maybe we're unable to share those facts in the moment, or we're unable to understand the why until we've sat on it, discussed it a bit more, had more open conversation. There are a whole host of reasons, but it's still based on facts.
I feel that you have a lot more emotional intelligence than I do. Like I kind of see things quite black and white, whereas you're able to see maybe the colors and the nuances around it. So it's more emotional intelligence. So we can't just like, before I used to simplify it as like, oh, it's just feelings, but it's actually a real skill set of being more emotional intelligent.
And this newfound trust in intuition that my husband has embarked on has really enabled us to make much more well-rounded decisions. Taking into consideration my perspective and his perspective, we're able to just come to really great solutions. And actually, from an understanding perspective, I feel like I can open up more in our relationship and our marriage because you now take my perspective seriously. And that's really important. Another reason that your woman does not open up to you is because you do not allow her to express the full range of her emotions. My goodness. It's like joyful Anna. We want her every day of the week, every day of the year, all the days of my life, because that's who I married. But you know what?
There are times when you can't deliver that energy.
Exactly.
Because I have come to realize that the woman's body is very complicated. It's very complex. There's different times or periods where, you know, hormones are a bit all over the place, whether that be menstrual cycle, we've had a baby, so I've now experienced the pregnancy element, and I've also heard postnatal, there's menopause, there's so many things that women go through throughout their life, which might affect them hormonally. Now, in these times, I'm still expecting Anna to be at the same level of joy, excitement, and everything, and I realize that that's not fair. Like,
not fair.
Like, there are mood swings that may come about. She might be a little bit more irritated or triggered. And I think what I've come to realize is that Anna just wants me to embrace those moments for what it is, because it's not something that she can really control, and just support her, again, have empathy, not take myself too seriously. All this good stuff, and just support her through it.
Because what used to happen is my mood would change and I wouldn't be the usual Anna that he's used to. And what would you do?
I would be like, what's going on?
Like, and then we'd end up having a massive disagreement about the fact that I'm in a mood, and then I can't deal with just being in my mood. In the corner over here, I have to think about how it's impacting you, and then it just becomes too weighty for me.
And then Anna Anna started going through a process where she was starting to bottle up her emotions. And when she was bottling up the negativity, what I then found out is that she was also bottling up the positivity, which I actually enjoyed. And then she would go and want to spend time with other people, etc., etc. Because
people who would accept me for who I am in that given moment.
Exactly. So I've got without being rude, accept the good with the bad. Am I allowed to say that?
The whole person.
I've got to accept you. Like, I've got to accept those moments as well, and just kind of embrace it for what it is.
And that's what marriage is as well. That's what marriage is. Through thick and thin, through highs and lows, through the differences that come with being a man and a woman. I see that Gabes can be much more stable than I can, and that's because your hormones are stable. As for women, very different. There are different periods in the month when, you know, we would feel a certain way, and other times where
I've come to realize that again. I'm a slow learner.
No, you're brilliant now. You're actually
I'm a slow
fantastic.
learner, so I'm getting you know, acclimatizing.
And another reason your woman might not be opening up to you is because you are emotionally abusive.
Yeah, which is a strong statement. And there is a spectrum, obviously, to emotional abuse. For example, with myself, what I realized in the early days of our relationship, when we will start arguing, I will get a little bit louder. I might stand up. And not that I'm going to do anything, but it just, like, my presence, because I'm my size, I'm 6'2", I'm quite, if you didn't know, I'm quite a large guy. Like,
hench, sexy.
Like, and it became a bit intimidating for Anna. So then she would avoid certain conversations because she knows that I just stand out and I open up, and then I'm like, you know, and these things was quite intimidating. But there's other things that some people may do. They might insult their partner, they may belittle them, there might be some kind of control elements or stuff and things that you say, or threatening. There's all these different things that might threaten your woman. She just doesn't feel secure around you, and therefore, in regards to her emotions, she bottles them up again and doesn't express herself to you because she doesn't know what version of you she's gonna get when she talks to you about things. So
and it's so easy to say that, oh, this person has never been an expressive person, they've never shared their emotions with me. But actually, you'd find that some people who don't share their emotions with one person can share them with another person. And actually, it's about the posture of the person that is receiving that information. It's their posture. So, you know, a lot of times in relationships, a man can be very intimidating, his demeanor can be wrong, his approach can be wrong,
tone of
voice, all of these things that are contributing factors as to why your woman doesn't want to open up to you.
So it's important to be very self-aware of how we're coming across, because you might not have an intention of being abusive, but you might have some abusive tendencies. Obviously, so again, like I said, it's on the spectrum. So just be mindful of, so for example, with myself, I know that because when I stand up and I get louder, it comes across as intimidating for Anna. So I make sure that I stay seated when we're having certain discussions. I make sure that I try and check my tone of voice so that it doesn't come across aggressive to Anna.
Or even when I'm saying things like, not now, I can't talk about this right now. Understanding that and saying, actually, let's pause and let's talk about it later. But I know some men can put their woman under pressure to actually talk about the subject here and now, and not maybe allow them to even leave the room until they've discussed it. And those types of traits, again, the lack of patience, the intimidation, those tactics are not what is conducive for a healthy marriage. For a marriage where a woman feels like she can fully open and fully express herself so that she doesn't exit the relationship. Because for a woman exits mentally before she does physically. So, you know, we're just trying to bring to light some of the signs that your woman is checking out mentally, and that may lead to her checking out physically. And, you know, her not being able to express her emotions or feel comfortable to talk about things around you is an indicator. And definitely. We can't underestimate that.
That is a very, very good conclusion. And on that note, I think we've now come to the end of this video. We hope that you enjoyed it. And the thing is, look, even though relationships are very difficult, 50% of relationships or marriages end in divorce, and 70% of divorces are initiated by women. But men, we need to rise up and claim back our women and actually love on them, support them, be there for them, support them emotionally, support them physically, just do whatever it can and retain to be the leader of the household. Because at the end of the day, being in the leadership in the household is not all the glitz and the glam. It's sometimes actually laying your life down for the betterment of your household. So, like, let's just do what it takes to make sure that we are leading by example, supporting our wives. Let's just do whatever it takes to make sure that our household is in order. So guys, we hope you enjoyed the video.
And we'll see you in the next one.
And we also did a video, for those of you who haven't watched it, about, you know, in the other direction, how women are not supporting their husbands. So check that one out as well.
We've linked it below. We'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.